Bad Blood 2024 is just around the corner. The match card is looking fantastic, and in today's video, I'm going to give you my predictions on who is going to win every single match at Bad Blood 2024. I'm going to tell you who I think is going to win. I'm going to tell you why I think they're going to win, and I'm going to tell you if I feel like any of these matches are going to deliver a shock surprise. Now, if you do want to watch Bad Blood with me and other wrestling fans, make sure you come out to our watch-along live stream on YouTube or over on twitch.tv/Santizak. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring that bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I am incredibly confident that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. All right, let's jump into the predictions. Let's start things off by talking about Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Nothing on the line, just two guys that hate each other, and I can personally appreciate that considering this show is called Bad Blood. Here's the thing, all right? I just don't feel like that for the majority of this feud that Finn Balor has truly felt like that guy. He spent the majority of the feud running away, getting beat up, and just overall getting outshined by Damian Priest. I just figured that after that awesome double cross that happened at SummerSlam that caused Damian Priest to lose the World Heavyweight Championship because of the betrayal of Finn Balor, that Finn Balor would have ascended and had felt like a more dangerous, more ruthless version of himself that could truly be a player in the main event scene, and I'm not seeing that. Overall, I also just don't feel like this feud is this grudge feud that it should be. Again, this is a brother that betrayed another brother and caused him to lose one of the most important things in this sport. I feel like this should be getting so much more violent and personal. However, it is their first matchup, so I could see this turning into a trilogy of matches that gets more and more violent as it goes. But if Damian Priest wins here, it doesn't get to go anywhere. If we want this to build up to a duology, a trilogy of matches that could culminate into something bigger at Survivor Series, then Finn Balor needs to win. So I'm gonna go with Finn Balor here. On top of that, Damian Priest just got won over big at Bash in Berlin on Judgment Day. So I feel like Judgment Day needs to get a win back here, and doing it against Damian Priest, albeit likely not in a clean way, I think is a good first step to not only rebuild the reputation of Judgment Day, but also continue this feud so that it can stretch longer into the fall. It's clear to me that this feud is meant to have legs, and it just won't have legs if Damian Priest wins the first one. So I'm kind of shockingly taking Finn Balor here. Now let's talk about the WWE Women's Championship match between the champion Nia Jax defending against the #1 contender Bayley. I feel like under most circumstances, I would have been pretty bummed out that this is the match. I would have liked anyone else to get this opportunity. Frankly, I was rooting for Naomi to beat Bayley so that we could get a brand new matchup for Nia Jax here. However, because of how absolutely fantastic Nia Jax versus Bayley was at SummerSlam, I'm here for it, baby. I think that this is going to be a great match, albeit I don't think that the real attraction here is Bayley. I feel like the true attraction of this match is what is Tiffany Stratton going to do. So I gotta go with two predictions here. In the event that Tiffany Stratton does not cash in, I am going to go with Nia Jax. I just feel like Bayley's time has passed and we're in an entirely different train with a totally different destination. That destination being what is going to happen between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax. When does Charlotte Flair come back? I just feel like Bayley went from being the conductor of the train to a passenger, and her time to get off the train is coming up just around the corner. I'm expecting another really fun match. I will be hard pressed to believe that it could be as good as the match at SummerSlam, because part of the reason why it's considered to be such a good match was because of how shockingly good it was. So now there's actual expectations here for these two to deliver a really entertaining match. So if Tiffany Stratton does not cash in, I believe that Bayley is going to lose and Nia Jax is going to retain, and then Nia Jax just sort of continues going into Crown Jewel as well as Survivor Series as the champion. However, I feel like there's something deeper going on here. We saw on Friday Night SmackDown Nia Jax angrily choke Tiffany Stratton, and that look that Tiffany Stratton had on her face, basically saying, turn around so I can stab you in the back. So even though my prediction is Nia Jax, because I can't get too convoluted here, I think that you should look out for a potential cash in between Tiffany Stratton cashing in most likely on Nia Jax. However, this could be a misdirection, Triple H wanting you to believe that it could happen at this show, but my guts tell me that Tiffany's going to hold this briefcase a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna go with Nia Jax here.
Oh my God, bro, the pop!
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh,
Nice!
oh my God!
On the run.
Oh!
Just a lot of just.
That was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, which is available exclusively over on patreon.com/Santizap. This week, we're looking at The Rock versus Mankind, the one with that legendary Stone Cold return. We have an Ultimate X match between the Motor City Machine Guns and Beer Money from TNA back in 2010. We're looking at a recent women's classic between Mercedes Moné and Stephanie Vaquer and AEW's Forbidden Door 2024. And we have two Hell in a Cell matches for you this week, starting with The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar from No Mercy 2002. This one's a gem. And a recent fan favorite between the Usos and the New Day in a tag team Hell in a Cell match in 2017. Not only will you get the Match Club matches, but you're also getting the weekly Royal Rumble reviews that we're doing, the Raw reviews, the SmackDown reviews, and you're going to get the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days earlier than everywhere else. So if you want all of that extra content that is just not available here on YouTube and never will be, head on over to patreon.com/Santizap. I'm confident that if you even give it just 1 month that you're gonna fall in love with it. Seriously, everybody that signs up to the Patreon absolutely loves it. Give it a shot. But that's it. All right, back to the video. Next up, we have the WWE Women's World Championship match between the champion Liv Morgan versus the #1 contender Rhea Ripley, with Dominic Mysterio being hoisted up above the ring in a shark cage. It's the fact that Dominic Mysterio is not going to be a physical factor in the match that tells me that even more shenanigans are going to happen in this match. I do believe that the second that Rhea Ripley wins the championship back, that this feud is over. It's done, because I just don't see a world where Liv Morgan can be a credible contender against a champion Rhea Ripley. And it looks to me like the WWE is pretty content with having Rhea Ripley being the one that's chasing the championship, maybe to set her up for a bigger stage, maybe winning at a show like Survivor Series. So here's my prediction. I don't think it's that wild, but I do think that we get a shock return here. I do think that Liv Morgan is going to retain, but it's not going to be because she outpowers or outmaneuvers and outduels and outwrestles Rhea Ripley. I think that we have the return of Raquel. Raquel Rodriguez is going to come back, is my prediction. She's going to align herself with Liv Morgan because this entire time they've been buddies. They've been friends. They were tag team champions not that long ago. And I do think that the fact that Raquel Rodriguez is as intimidating in terms of size and strength as Rhea Ripley, that it could add a really interesting wrinkle and dynamic to this feud between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, because Liv Morgan just always has to run away. But if we pair Raquel Rodriguez alongside Liv Morgan, then now Liv Morgan can stand toe-to-toe with Rhea Ripley on strength as well. It might be a bit of a stretch to say this because of the legends I'm about to compare them to, but it could be something akin to Diesel, aka Kevin Nash, teaming up and being the bodyguard of Shawn Michaels. I feel like the insertion of Raquel Rodriguez as the bodyguard of Liv Morgan could really add a lot more time to this feud and be able to help Liv Morgan stand on her own 2 feet as opposed to just having to run away every single time. So I'm gonna go with Liv Morgan retaining and Raquel Rodriguez being the one that helps Liv Morgan win. I wouldn't take out a second mortgage and put money on that exact prediction happening. I'm just kind of looking at the landscape, and to me, if Raquel Rodriguez is capable of coming back, that's a great place to put her in. So I'm gonna go with Liv. Next up, I'm gonna include a match that hasn't been announced, but because I'm recording this before Monday Night Raw, it might get announced, so I'll talk about it briefly just in case it does get announced. I'm talking about Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the World Heavyweight Championship. There's a lot of rumors that this is going to be a last-minute addition to Bad Blood. And I could see it being the case considering they've been doing an entire build-up to this, but really the build-up has been just a regular build without a match announced. Part of the story here is that Gunther refuses to say yes, but it's very possible that on this upcoming episode of Monday Night Raw that Gunther finally agrees and this match happens as early as Bad Blood, which is why we're going to talk about it. First of all, I feel like this match needs to happen at Bad Blood. Otherwise, you just don't have any of the major men's championships being defended on this show. Neither of the world titles and neither of the mid-card championships. I feel like that'd be a little bit disappointing if you're buying a ticket to this show, in my opinion. If the match does happen, there is no way Sami Zayn wins. Then again, I said there was no way that Jey Uso wins, but I feel like this is an entirely different beast altogether. Gunther is going to win this if the match does happen. To me, what they're doing is making sure that they can remove any question marks from Gunther's initial championship reign so that then we can really get into the meat of it, removing Randy Orton right off the get-go and now removing Sami Zayn, the last guy to actually beat Gunther. And then from here on out, we can have a no asterisks, no questions asked Gunther championship reign where he can face the likes of Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, the people that we really, really want to see him up against. Will it be a good match if it happens? Almost certainly. That match at WrestleMania was absolutely brilliant, fantastic. I would love to see that match play out basically again, but just with Gunther winning this time. Now, I guess I spoiled that I want Gunther to win, but I'm also picking Gunther logically here. So again, because this match isn't properly announced, I won't spend too much time on it. If it gets announced, I'm going to go with Gunther here. Next up, we have a super tag team match between the team of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns taking on the Bloodline members Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. I still think this is crazy. The fact that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns are teaming up still just feels wrong. But hey, it's happening and it's happening in a few days, so I guess I'm here for it. I think on paper, it's really easy to just pick Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns here because do you really see either of them losing? Do you see either of them taking a pin? Do you see when they come together, them implode? No, like it should be Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, but I think it might go deeper than this. If I have to make a prediction here, I don't see the Bloodline losing because they're gonna gear up to something big at Survivor Series War Games. Roman is chasing the Ula Fala. Jacob Fatu is that unstoppable enforcer, and you need to keep Solo Sikoa feeling like a true, actual tribal chief to when Roman Reigns inevitably goes up against them. And if they were to lose, they would kind of lose that aura, don't you think? But again, on the other hand, I don't see Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns losing in any capacity. So let me pull out the trusty disqualification finish. Yeah, unless they say that this is gonna be Bloodline rules, I think that this is gonna have a screwy finish. You have so many potential people that could get involved in this match. Of course, you've got the Tongans that could get involved in this, but where I think this could realistically go is Kevin Owens and Randy Orton going out there and causing all kinds of havoc, attacking Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, causing this to end in a no contest, disqualification finish. Because there is Roman's story, right? Like I'm chasing the Bloodline, I'm going after the Ula Fala, I want to become the tribal chief all over again. But then there's Cody's story as well. And Cody's story doesn't really fit well with what's going on with the Bloodline members. So what is Cody's story? Cody's story in this is Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, which is why I firmly believe that they're gonna get involved in some way, shape, or form. So because I don't see Bloodline losing, and because I don't see Cody Rhodes or Roman taking a proper pin in this, I'm gonna go disqualification finish. But more than anything, my big prediction is Randy Orton and Kevin Owens taking out Cody Rhodes here. And the last match that I'm going to talk about, what I still think should be the main event, frankly, but it won't be. It's CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match. This is it. This is the culmination. This is the end. This is going to be a bloody, violent match, and it's earned every drop of blood that this match spills in the Hell in the Cell. It's so interesting because the past handful of Hell in a Cell matches didn't feel like we earned the Hell in a Cell stipulation. It just sort of felt like it's the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, so I guess let's have a Hell in a Cell match. Or hey, we need to make this feel a little bit bigger than it actually is, so let's put this in a Hell in a Cell. This feels feels like it needs to be in a Hell in a Cell. Not should, needs to be in a Hell in a Cell. And that goes to all of the awesome work that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre have done and making this be, in my opinion, the best feud of the entire year. Yeah, you can talk about Cody and Roman leading into WrestleMania 40. All of that was fantastic. But this just, in the short amount of time that they've built this up, in less than 8 months, this has been just truly amazing. So really, when I look at this and when I try to look at this like a Mark wrestling fan trying to make sense of things, I feel like if I were to look at CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, CM Punk needs the victory a heck of a lot more than Drew McIntyre. Let me explain here. If CM Punk immediately loses his first major feud, I just don't think that he's gonna feel like this major threat into the main event scene. And don't get me wrong, it's still CM Punk. But the reason why I think that Drew McIntyre should lose is because Drew McIntyre has been doing the best work of his career on the back of losses. Look at this character that he's developed. It's developed because of all of the terrible losses that he's taken over the last several months, starting with that colossal loss at WrestleMania 40 when he got cashed in on, and then Clash at the Castle, then the Money in the Bank cash-in fail, then losing to CM Punk in the strap match. All of it just makes Drew McIntyre better and more interesting. And I think that it could continue to do that for Drew McIntyre should he lose this match. So I'm going to say that CM Punk needs to win this and is going to win this. It's going to be weird watching Monday Night Raw and not having a Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk feud looming, because these guys have just been such a major backbone of pretty much all of Monday Night Raw. So it's kind of crazy to think that this is the end. This is the end of this incredibly long feud. But god damn it, it was a wild ride. And I cannot wait for this match. I feel like this is going to be the best match of the night. If it wasn't for Roman and Cody Rhodes teaming up, making the uber, super, uber, mega babyface team, this should be the main event. Because it's Bad Blood. Bad Blood is always main evented by Hell in a Cell matches. Although I did hear that there's rumblings in internally as to who should main event. So maybe it's not a foregone conclusion. Maybe CM Punk and Drew McIntyre do get to close out the show as they rightfully should, folks. All right, folks, those are my predictions for Bad Blood. This is your opportunity to sound off and tell me where you think I've gone entirely wrong. Leave it down in the comments. Let's have a healthy discussion. But that's it. Again, if you want to watch Bad Blood with a group of friends, other wrestling folks, make sure to come to the live stream either on Twitch or YouTube. All of those links will be in the description. But that's it. Okay. All right. Bye. Get out of here.